Hey, today I want to talk to you about illusions, optical illusions, and how that's related to art and perspective, and it's going to jump into a project that we're going to be doing. So, this is all about our brain. Here's a cross-section of the brain and a graphic that I found where your left brain is all about your logic and your analytical thinking, your reasoning, and your realistic stuff. If you're really good at math and trying to analyze things and pull apart things, you're more left-brained. You're more right-brained if you're passionate about artistic things, your art, your music, your theater, your drama. And there are many, many graphics that explain that. But when we look at these illusions, what you're doing is your left brain and your right brain are fighting with one another to try to make sense of this. If you have a pencil nearby, it's probably smart that you grab one right quick to do this next little slide here that I'm going to show you. This is called the Chevreul, I'm not saying that right, illusion. Each step appears lighter. But if you put a yardstick, it says, because I do that in the classroom, but if you put a pencil between each, you will see that the grays are exactly the same on both sides of the pencil within that section. So what I'm saying is you're going to put a pencil on each of those little cracks between. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. But your brain is arguing and fighting, and of course it's an optical illusion. How about this? These circles are spinning. Are they spinning right? Are they spinning left? They're really not spinning. I promise it's not a digital image. What do you guys call them? GIFs or GIFs or whatever the heck they're called. But this is an image and your brain is spinning them because they're arguing. It has to do with the shadow on the left of the green polka dot. Here's another one that looks like it's moving in and out and in and out. Your brain is fighting between your green and purple colors. How about this one? Those going left to right to you? Hope I'm not giving you a headache. Or this, the arrow seems to be pointing to the right and the little circles are going left, or ovals are going to the left. How about these? Are they wonkily wiggling around like they're floating on the water? I think those are cool. It's all about that fuchsia color, chartreuse, Chartreuse is a lime green, like a highlighter, along with the violet wiggling back and forth in your brain. How about these? Do you see circles or do you just see squares and lines? I wish I could do this in class in front of you, but that's not happening. How about here? Do you see little bitty squares in between? The big squares? So you can see a bunch of black squares, but in between, do you see tiny little black squares? They're really not there. Your brain's putting them there. Do you see a vase or a face? The vase is the black area and the faces are the white, and they're in profile, and the two noses are barely touching. Do you see the naked women in between these balusters of this railing? I don't know if you see them or not. You've got a head, a nose, her breasts, her tushy, her knee, and her foot. She has no hair. And there's several women in there. I don't know if you see those. Do you see a woman or a man serenading? If you see a woman, you've got two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. If you see the man serenading, he's got a huge nose or a hat. Here's his mouth, and he's blowing on like a saxophone. His hands are around here. Here's his rear end and his foot, shoe. I don't know what that is. Some people say it looks like a bird. Do you see an old woman or a young woman? Or do you see both? Here's a young woman. In both, this is the hair, and they have a hat on with a fur coat. If it's a young woman, here's her side of her cheek, her jawline and her ear, her eyelashes and her nose, and she's wearing like a black choker necklace. If it's an old woman or an old hag, black hair again, eye, here's her nose, there's her nostril, and this is her mouth. And it's kind of like she's got her woolen coat creeped up around, covering up her chin down there. Here's a joke I found about it. That same image to the right, and you've got the barkeeper there, and he says, "Can I see your ID?" Wait, never mind, wait. Yeah, I need to see your ID. Meaning, is she an old woman where she would not need to show her ID, or is she a young girl under the age of 21? Here is a woman sitting at a mirror, or do you see a skull? The skull is the eyes, nose, mouth. And the woman is here, sitting in a mirror where here's her reflection, and there's a candle lit and a bunch of perfume bottles that make up the teeth of the skull. Which orange circle is smaller? They're both the same. Move your head slowly back and towards the screen again, back and forth. And if you do that, those things spin. Those little diamond-shaped pieces. Martus Cornelius Escher is known for creating optical illusions. Maybe your math teacher has shown you these posters before, but he really was a mathematician, meaning he created these mathematical equations, but at the same time he was interested in drawing, tessellations, printmaking, and he created these illusional worlds that really don't make sense. Like, here's people, they're going up the steps and there's a porch, and then this guy here is going up the ladder. How all of a sudden is it on the outside of the building? I know it has to do with these posts here. You might have seen this before. Here's another illusion by Escher. This water appears to be floating upward and back down again, but honestly, it's all on the same plane. If you look at the perspective of the house, tip your head to the left a little bit and you'll see what I mean. It's really level water, so how's it going up and down at the same time? This reminds me of Harry Potter and the moving staircases all over this place. But you've got stairs and people coming from all directions. This is also an Escher. Here's another Escher. The famous staircase that goes round and round and round. You've got people going up, or are they going down? And then going up and up and up? What's going on here? Are they going up or down? Really confusing, isn't it? It's all based on this illusion. If you look at this and you follow the stairs, you can go up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and you really never go anywhere. So how is it possible to keep going up while you're going in a circle? An illusion. Here's a chessboard being warped. You're on both sides at the same time. It's kind of like that little town or village I showed you of the Eschers a minute ago, with the porch and the actual ladder going up on the outside of the porch as well. Same concept here. This is my favorite. Okay, this is called an after image. If you stare at that little dot, the circle in the very center of the American flag, and on the left you have a bunch of an orange area with black stars, and on the right you have that lime green color again, green, with black stripes. And you keep staring at this and staring at this. Here in a minute I'm going to flip the slide. It really is a blank page. Don't look away. And when I flip the page, you will see the American flag. Ready? Is it gone already? It doesn't last very long. What it does is it takes the opposite colors, the complements. If you look at a color wheel, red is opposite the green, so that's how the red stripes appear. And orange is opposite blue on the color wheel, so that's how the blue area appears. And the white, of course, is the opposite of black, having to do with saturated color and all that stuff. And when I flip it, you see the American flag for a few minutes, a few seconds. Look at the chart below and say the color, but not the word. Are you able? The color, not the word. Your left and your right brain are fighting. Here are illusions that are created in sidewalk art. You might have seen these before. I thought they were just kind of cool to throw on the end there. This guy is on the sidewalk and it appears like he is getting into the pool. This lady's walking through a Pac-Man. Just a drawing on the sidewalk. Try to do these one time. They're harder than they look. It really has to do with photography and the angle of the viewer to look at these pieces. They don't make sense from all over the place, only from a certain point of view. But they're pretty cool. The hole's not really there. It's an illusion. I think I could do that one. Pretty intense. There's an artist named Bridget Riley, and what she did was create these optical illusions using only black and white. And if you look at this, it's just stripes with a circle and a circle and a circle and a circle, and they're all shifted to the right. But she would paint these on giant canvases, the black, white, black, white, black, white, and use them in such a way to create these giant masterpieces. Now, keep in mind, they're not on a computer. She used rulers and compasses and had to paint that precisely. Here's another one. Talk about precision and using math. Here's another one. These slowly get more narrow. The circles become ellipses and ovals, and they slowly change in value. Here's another one. Pretty cool, huh? A little bit of pink is added towards the middle. I believe the title of this painting is called Cataracts. The idea that as you get older, cataracts develop over your eyes and you can't see as well, and it gives you like a fuzzy appearance for elderly people. Here's another illusion. And another one. These are all optical illusion paintings created by Bridget Riley. And our final one, a square, or I shouldn't say a square, a cube, right? You're looking inside of a box at a sphere that is levitating with a checkerboard wrapped around it. Doesn't this look familiar? North Pole, South Pole, equator. You've got your latitude lines and your longitude lines. Or is it just a metal sphere in a box that is covered with the checkerboard and it's reflecting on the sphere? Which is probably really what it is. But it's levitating. Look at that cool shadow. Some cool art involved in this.